Everyone, welcome to today's topic named TARO Rewards of Class 6th. My dear student, there is a beautiful quote on our parents, that is, love your parents and treat them with respect and care, for you will only know their value when you see their empty chairs. So it is said that love your parents, my dear student, respect them, care them and value them. When you will see their empty chairs, you will realize their value in your life. So before beginning of the story, I would like to introduce few of the characters in the story. The first one is Taro, the woodcutter, who is a young boy and who is the protagonist of this story. His mother, his father, villagers and emperor of Japan. So I want each and every one to hold your pen and your copy and write down the characters and try to understand the story. Now we will begin the story. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. So what happened here? The young woodcutter named Taro is living with his parents in a lonely hillside. He worked very hard. He earned very little money. This made him sad. So he was a hard-working boy and he earned very little money, which made him very upset. He was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parents everything they needed, as our parents try to give us all the thing we want and they work hard for us. Similarly, here this young woodcutter named Taro, he is a hard-working boy and he is very thoughtful and he want to give his parent all their needs, or he want to fulfill all their needs. So what happened one evening, Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of their hut and strong wind blew. So during one day when they were sitting together during evening, there was a strong wind, and suddenly what happened, do you know? His father says, and it whistled through the cracks of the hut and everyone felt very cold. So when there was a strong wind, the air entered inside the hut and the old man or the father, he felt very cold. And Taro's father said, I wish I had a cup of shake. It would warm me and do my old heart good. So here the father says that it is too cold and I am not able to bear the cold. So in order to keep my body warm, I need a cup of shake. As my dear student, as we know, Taro is a hard-working person and he wants to fulfill all his parents' dream. But my dear student, from where do he get this shake? How will he fulfill his parents' dream? Now let us read deeply and know how he fulfilled his dreams. This made Taro shudder for the heart-warming drink called shake, which was very expensive. So my dear student, he felt very upset when his father said that I need a cup of shake in order to make my body warm. And now this thought and this feeling made him upset. And when he think of the shake, it is very costly. So it is very expensive. He can't afford it. So how do I earn more money? Now his thought came in his mind that how will I earn more money? He asked himself, how do I get a little shake for my poor old father? He decided to work harder than before. So now he decided to work hard and he wanted to fulfill his father's dream. So next morning what he did, Taro woke up early and made his way to the forest. Now he went to the forest and early morning he woke up. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed. So the sun was so bright and he chopped and cut the trees, and soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. So in hot sun, if we work hard, then definitely our body will become warm and we want that cooling sensation. So in order to get the cooling sensation, what we used to do is we used to remove our clothes or we used to remove the jacket. So here this woodcutter, he removed the jacket. because it was too hot, and his mouth was dry because he was working in the hot scorching sun, my dear student. So his mouth became dry and his face was wet with sweat. So sweat was filled all over his face and he was totally wet and his mouth was totally dry. So when our mouth gets dry, we feel thirsty and we want to drink water. So what this boy did, my poor old father, he thought. So during that time also he was thinking about his poor father. If only he was as warm as I. That means, as we know that we are so young to our parents that we don't feel that much cold when there is a cold wind. But our parents, they will feel cold because their body is not that much young that they can bear the cold. So he is trying to feel that if his father was able to feel the warm what he is feeling right now. So he began to chop even faster. So the thought made him so hardworking that he chopped even faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake to warm old man's bone. So he's trying to work hard in order to get money so that he can buy the expensive shake for his father. Suddenly, Taro stopped chopping. So what happened when he felt thirsty and tired? He stopped chopping the tree. What was that sound he heard? So during this chopping, he heard a sound and he asked himself, what is this sound all about? Could it be possible be rushing water? So in the jungle, he's trying to hear a sound and he's trying to relate the sound with the rushing of water. So what Taro did, Taro hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest, he dropped his axe and he ran in the direction of the sound. So now what happened? He ran towards that direction, saw a beautiful little water hidden behind a rock, kneeling at a place where the water flowed, and he cupped a little in his hand and put it into his lips. So what happened, Taro, when he heard this dropping sound of water, he suddenly, what he did, he ran to the place and he started to collect the water. When he tried to sip the water, he asked himself, was it water or was it sake? He tasted it again and again, and always it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. My dear students, see the magic. Now the water which he is trying to sip, he is asking again and again, is this the water or the shake? Because it was not water, it was delicious shake which his father wanted too. So what Taro did, Taro quickly filled the pitcher. Pitcher means the pot which he was holding. So Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. So he went back home with excitement, and the old man was delighted with the shake. He gave one cup of shake, and when the father swallow or drink the shake, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. So when the father drank one sip of that water or the shake, he stopped shivering and he started dancing. So that afternoon, a neighbor stopped by for a visit. So one of the neighbor came to his house and he was stopped. And Taro's father politely offered her a cup of shake. So it was a lady, and she came and she was offered with one cup of shake. And the lady drank it and thanked the old man and said, Taro told the entire story of the magic waterfall. So after drinking one cup of shake, Taro narrated all the story behind this magic waterfall. And she left in a hurry. The lady, after hearing this, she left in a hurry. By nightfall, she had spread the story throughout the whole village. My dear student, in our reality, who spread the news as fast as possible? Yes, the reporter or the journalist. So here you can say this lady is a journalist. It's not lady is a journalist, but she has the quality of a journalist that she spread the news throughout the village in that night. And that evening there was a long procession of visitors to the woodcutter's house. And in that evening there was a long procession, means people were visiting this woodcutter and asking about the story. So each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of shake. Okay, and at the end what happened? Next morning Taro started for work even earlier than morning before. So when he served everyone one cup of shake, the shake was empty. At the end. And the next morning, Taro started even early to work. He carried with him the largest creature he owned, for he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. So Taro, what happened that day, he didn't know about this shake. So the next day, the very next day, early morning, he woke up and simply went to the forest, and with a big or largest pitcher. And to his utmost surprise, my dear student, when he reached there, he saw many people there. All the neighbors, all the villagers were standing in a queue to collect the water. So one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. So one man, what he did, he tried to drink the water. When he drank the water, he shouted angrily, "Water! Nothing but water!" So my dear students, see the twist here. So when the normal or when the people start drinking water, they shouted and they got angry. No, this is not shake, it is water. And very Taro, call him. And what happened, my dear student? Taro was hiding himself and seeing and observing these people. So where is Taro? But Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock when he saw how things were going. So he hid himself behind a rock and he was seeing people, what they were doing and what they were saying. He was nowhere to be found, and he was not even found anywhere. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villager left the place one by one. So everyone left with disappointment, thinking that it is simply water, it's not shake. Should Taro came out from his hiding place, and was this shake a dream? He's asking himself, why this man are saying it's water? Is it really a dream? So once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips, and it was the same fine shake, my dear student. So see this beauty of the story, see the magic of the story. Now when this boy went near the water, thinking that is it water? When he again tasted it, he felt that it is not simply water, it is the same shake. So to the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious shake. To everyone, so to everyone else it was simply a water, and to this young Taro it was shake. So this story reached the Emperor of Japan, and my dear student, this Emperor of Japan or the king gave 20 pieces of gold and he rewarded Taro. And then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city of Taro, and emperors encouraged, and he said to everyone, this said the emperor was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. So my dear student, I hope you enjoyed the entire story, and you will definitely go and turn your pages and read it. So if you have any queries, comments, feedbacks, do comment on my chat box. Thank you all.